The supply wagon lurched as a Titan's hand tore through the trees behind it.
They said this route was safe. What do we do?
No one answered. The wagon hit a rock and Hayato was thrown backward into the open air.
They're not stopping. They can't. I'm going to die.
He hit the ground hard. Dust filled his lungs. When he looked up, a Titan's silhouette blotted out the sun.
Don't move. Don't breathe. They find you by sound.
For hours, he lay under the dead, listening to the Titan's footsteps, shaking the earth.
I won't die here. Not like this. I'll survive.
The Titan wandered off before sunrise. The boy, covered in blood and filth, crawled from the pile.
One day, I'll walk back through the gate and everything will change.
For the first year, he survived by following feral dogs, learning which scraps were safe to eat.
They don't fear me. They've survived longer out here than any soldier.
By the third year, he could spot a Titan from a mile away and avoid it without thinking.
Every path I walk, I draw. If I ever get home, they'll see the truth.
Year after year, he walked outward in slow circles, filling the oilcloth with rivers, ruins, and mountains no one inside the walls had ever named. At 19, he stumbled onto a hidden valley and smoke rising from chimneys.
People, the kingdom says nothing survives outside. They were wrong.
Child, there are no Titans beyond the eastern mountains. The world is vast and mostly green.
For 2 years he stayed, learning their language and filling every blank space on his map.
It's time. They're trapped by lies, and this map is the key.
The gate loomed ahead, towering and gray exactly as he remembered it from a decade ago.
10 years, and not a single stone has changed, but I am not the boy who fell.
From the guardhouse above, a sharp voice ordered him to halt and state his business.
I am a survivor of the 52nd expedition. I carry proof that the outside world is not what you were told.
He unfurled a corner of the oilcloth, revealing inked coastlines and mountain ranges. Far beyond the wall, the guards stared, their weapons lowering. One whispered a curse. Minutes later, the iron gate groaned open, and hands seized him, stripping away his gear and the map.
They're afraid of it. Good. Fear means they can't ignore it.
They dragged him through the crowded streets, where townsfolk gathered to stare at the gaunt, silver-haired stranger.
I knew it would be hard. They'll call me mad, but I didn't survive 10 years to quit now.
They brought him before the royal council, where robed officials sat in high-backed chairs, their faces cold.
You claim to have lived beyond the wall for 10 years? Preposterous. Where is your proof?
The map you took from me is drawn from living memory. Every river and ruin I walked.
A forgery. Likely copied from old forbidden charts. Your mind is broken from exposure.
He ordered the map confiscated as evidence of delusional fabrication, and Hayato bound for observation.
They're not even looking. They've decided the truth is a threat.
Among the onlookers, a young scout named Misaki watched with unease. The official story didn't match the man's eyes.
He's not mad. I've read old expedition logs. Some details he whispered to the guards match lost accounts.
Take him to the lower cells. Let the isolation remind him what truth is.
Hayato was thrown into a dark stone cell, the iron door echoing shut. Outside, the map lay locked away. That night, Misaki slipped past the drowsy guards and descended into the dungeon.
If anyone sees me here, I'll lose my rank. But I have to know.
You came back. The council's verdict wasn't enough?
I am not here for them. I want to hear what you saw out there.
There's a village beyond the mountains. People who never knew the walls existed. The elder told me. No Titans roam there.
No Titans? That contradicts every official teaching. But old records mention a mountain range.
Your world is a cage built on lies. That map is the key.
The council calls it a forgery. How do I trust you? But the detail about the river fork. I saw that in a discarded scout report. He couldn't have guessed it.
She left the dungeon with a new weight on her shoulders, the burden of a truth she could no longer dismiss. At dawn, The royal council assembled the town square for a public denouncement.
This man, Hayato, claims to have survived outside the wall, a delusion born from abandonment. His so-called map is a forgery. Look at these childish scribbles. The royal council declares him a dangerous madman.
The crowd erupted in jeers. Some threw rotten fruit at the bound prisoner.
Wait, that marking on the map. It's identical to the pre-wall relic in the archives. No forgery could recreate a symbol that's been locked away for a century.
Take him back to his cell. Let him rot with his lies.
Guards seized Hayato and dragged him through the hateful crowd.
I have to check the archives. If that symbol is genuine, then everything they said is wrong.
As the square emptied, Misaki slipped away toward the scout archives, her heart pounding with a dangerous new conviction. Hours later, Misaki returned to the dungeon, clutching a weathered clay fragment from the deepest archive vault.
Do you recognize this symbol? It was locked away before the walls were built.
That's the star seal of the elders. They carve it on every home beyond the mountains. You believe me now?
There's no way he could have seen this. The truth is real, and the council is terrified of it. Then we have to act. There are underground reading societies, people who question the official doctrine. They'll spread your map.
First, I need my map back. I can pick this lock, but I'll need a distraction to reach the evidence room.
Tomorrow night, the guard shift changes at midnight. I light a fire near the east wing. The chaos should give you a window.
And if you are caught,
Then I'll be in the cell next to yours. But if we don't try, the lies win forever.
she's risking everything for a truth she just learned. I won't let her pay alone.
At midnight, as the guard shift changed, Misaki struck flint to oil-soaked hay outside the east wing.
Burn and buy us time.
From his cell, Hayato heard the distant shouts and running feet. The lock clicked open in his scarred hands.
The east evidence room, he remembered the layout. He had a few minutes at most.
He slipped through the smoke-filled corridor to the evidence room. The map lay on a top shelf, untouched.
After 10 years, he held it again. The weight of all that walking, all that truth.
He crawled through a window and dropped onto a lower roof, the map clutched to his chest. In the narrow, refuse-strewn alley of the slums, Misaki pressed against a damp wall, her heart slamming against her ribs.
I am here. The map is safe, but we need to vanish, now.
Behind them, alarm bells screamed across the city, and torches flared. The royal council's hunt had ignited. They fled to a forgotten cellar beneath an old mill, where the only light came through cracks in the floorboards above.
If the truth is to spread, it must be piece by piece. Hand-copied, untraceable.
Over the next days, Hayato carefully traced sections of the original onto scraps of cloth, each a fragment of the world beyond.
I know a few who listen. The reading societies meet in secret. They're hungry for anything the council suppresses.
She moved through the city in a hooded cloak, slipping maps into the hands of those who dared to question.
Every exchange could be a trap, but every map passed is a seed planted.
In cramped rooms and candlelit cellars, people unfolded the forbidden maps and saw rivers and mountains that should not exist. By dawn, the first copies reached the curious and the desperate, and the quiet murmur of doubt grew.
For the first time since I returned, I feel something other than dread. Maybe truth can't be silenced forever.
But above ground, the royal council's search parties grew, and the rumor of a map was a crime, punishable by disappearance. Within a week, the royal council traced the maps back to the underground societies.
Burn every copy. Arrest every person who dared read this heresy.
Soldiers kicked in doors, dragged citizens into the streets, and torched homes without warrant.
They're raiding the North Quarter. I have to hide the last batch before they reach the safe house.
She was caught in an alley, a map still clutched in her hand.
They're too fast. I couldn't burn it in time. They'll make an example of me.
From the shadows, I watched them haul her away. I could slip out of the city tonight, but if I run now, I am no different from the cowards who left me to die 10 years ago. I am getting her out, even if it costs me everything.
That night, Hayato scaled the prison's outer wall with a rope and hook, his hands remembering a decade of climbing ruins.
The guard rotations are tighter here, but outside the walls, Titans taught me better patience.
He slipped through an unbarred window and found himself in a dim corridor. A guard turned. Too late.
I told you I wouldn't leave you.
He actually came for me?
But shouts erupted down the hall. More guards. Hayato snapped iron chains like kindling and fought with the savagery of a cornered animal.
Behind you.
Hayato whirled, disarmed the guard, and pulled Misaki into the pitch-black underpassage beneath the prison.
I knew you'd come, but now they'll never stop hunting us.
We're both alive. That's what matters. Now we fight harder.
They surfaced in an abandoned cistern, far beneath the cobblestone streets.
Every step we take only tightens the noose. Misaki nearly died because of me. For what? The maps are ashes, the people still believe the lies, and we're hunted like dogs.
Stop. I can see you blaming yourself, but I chose this, just like you chose to return. Remember what the Elder told you. The world is vast and mostly green. That truth is worth fighting for.
But our hand-drawn scraps can't outrun the Council's soldiers. We need a different weapon.
Then we print thousands all at once. Flood the city with the truth so they can't burn it all.
That's suicide. The moment we touch a press, every guard will be on us. But piecemeal only made us hunted. Maybe one reckless gamble is the only way to break their grip.
They locked eyes in the candlelight. By sunrise, the world would either believe or they would swing from the gallows. Hayato and Misaki crept into the darkened Printers Guild workshop, where a lone press sat waiting.
The door wasn't locked. The guild risked everything for this.
They worked the press in silence, the rhythm of wood and ink filling the night.
Look at them, hundreds. Everyone is a door to the world.
And everyone could get us hanged. But it's too late for second thoughts.
Before the sky lightened, they loaded the copies into sacks and vanished into the pre-dawn alleys. Like ghosts, they scattered the maps across market squares, window sills, and school steps. At sunrise, a council aide found a map under his boot and ran, pale-faced, to the spokesman.
Impossible. Burn them all. Find the traitors before the city sees.
But it was too late. The maps were already in the hands of milkmaids, blacksmiths, and scholars. Soldiers tore maps from hands and torched any they found. But for every copy burned, another vanished into a cellar floor.
The fear is cracking. Even the guards look nervous when they seize a map.
In modest homes, mothers slipped maps into family Bibles. Children knew to keep silent. The council issued their proclamation. Hayato and Misaki were traitors to the human race, to be executed on sight. A shoemaker promised coin, betrayed their safe house. Soldiers swarmed the cistern at dusk.
Don't fight. They want us as martyrs. Let them take us.
They were bound and loaded onto a prisoner cart. The crowd lined the streets, some jeering, some silent.
I see pity in their eyes. The maps worked.
The crier's voice rang out. By order of the Royal Council, the traitors faced the axe at dawn in the cart. Hayato looked up at the gray sky and thought of the open horizon beyond the wall. They were thrown into separate cells, but the walls were thin. Hayato could hear Misaki's shallow breaths in the dark.
I brought her to this. Every step of my journey led her to a chopping block. I survived Titans for what? To watch them take her head?
Hayato, can you hear me? Don't blame yourself. This was my choice. Before they took me, a scout told me 7 volunteers slipped out with a copy of your map. They're seeking proof.
7 fools with a map. That's not an army. But if they find anything...
Through the night, they shared memories of open sky, of stars no one inside had ever named. When dawn grayed the bars, they fell silent. Guards dragged them into the execution courtyard. A raw wooden scaffold stood under the gray sky. The executioner tested the axe with a wet stone. The spokesman sat in the viewing stand, his face a mask of satisfaction.
The sun is rising. Somewhere out there, those volunteers are walking. Maybe the truth walks with them.
The spokesman rose from his seat, a parchment unrolling in his jeweled hand.
For spreading heresy, for inciting rebellion against the crown, I sentence Hayato and Misaki to death by the axe.
He nodded to the executioner. The axe rose, and the crowd drew a single, held breath.
Now, this is the end.
But then, a horn blast from the distant gate. Wild and urgent, a guard atop the wall screamed, "Riders, riders from the outside. They're alive." Through the gate stumbled 7 ragged volunteers, their clothes torn by brambles, their faces burnt by wind. But one held aloft a carved stone seal, the star seal of the elders, glinting in the morning sun. The lead volunteer shouted, his voice breaking, "We found the village. The map. It's true. All of it." The axe lowered. The spokesman's face ran white, then purple. The crowd erupted, not in hatred, but confusion. The expedition leader thrust the star seal higher, its ancient lines unmistakable in the sun.
That could be a forgery. This proves nothing.
But the crowd had seen enough. A roar built from the back. They told the truth. A royal steward, sent by the king himself, stepped onto the scaffold and raised his hand. "By the king's decree, these prisoners are absolved. Release them at once."
Absolved. The word feels foreign, but the map is real, and they know it.
We're alive! Your map survived! Hayato, the world is bigger than they told us.
The spokesman, purple-faced, tried to object, but the steward silenced him with a glare. "The map is authentic. It will be studied, printed, and taught. The kingdom of the walls will see the world."
Now they'll open the gate, explore what I walked, and I'm done walking.
A week later, the king's proclamation rang through the streets. An official expedition, open to all, would leave at dawn.
They're gathering volunteers, Hayato, farmers, smiths, scholars. Aren't you even a little tempted?
Number. I've walked every mile on that oilcloth. My feet are done, but my map isn't finished.
Let me carry it then. I'll fill the pages from the east, where the Titans never reached.
6 months ago, she was a scout with questions. Now she's a cartographer with a compass. Take it. It's heavy with ink and memory, but you are strong enough.
I'll write to you from every new valley. The world will know your name, Hayato.
She turned and walked toward the gate, map tucked under her arm, a new horizon in her stride.
Walk far, Misaki. Fill that map with colors I never saw.
At dawn, the gate opened for the first sanctioned expedition. Volunteers, not soldiers. And a new age began. The great iron hinges groaned as the gates swung wide, revealing the open road. At the front of the column, Misaki glanced back, her gaze finding Hayato on the wall.
She's looking back. I should wave, but my hand feels too heavy.
I will write the world for you, Hayato. Wait for my letters.
The expedition began to move, a slow river of farmers and scholars, stepping beyond the shadow of the walls.
They go where I can't follow anymore, and that's enough.
As the last volunteer vanished into the light, the crowd erupted. But Hayato slipped down a narrow stair. He walked the quiet back alleys, the noise of celebration fading with every step.
After 10 years, I am free, not a prisoner, not a wanderer, just a man with a map already drawn.
He stopped in a sunlit square, sat on a stone bench, and watched the clouds drift toward the open gate. 5 years passed. The maps Hayato had bled for now hung in every schoolroom. The gate never closed again. In a small room above a bookshop, Hayato lived quietly, surrounded by new maps sent from beyond the walls.
Misaki's letters arrive every season. She's crossed ranges I only sketched. I should answer before the next courier leaves.
Misaki, the world you are walking is even larger than my map. I am glad I never went back. He folded the note and placed it on the open windowsill, where the breeze carried the scent of distant grass. Outside, children played in streets that once echoed with criers calling for his head.
They'll grow up knowing the truth. That's enough.
He returned to his table, where a half-finished map of the northern tundra lay waiting, and for the first time in his life, Hayato looked forward to a future that didn't require a weapon. One afternoon, a knock came at his door. A young student with ink-stained fingers and a worn copy of his map.
They send children now. The world has changed more than I notice.
The student asked, voice trembling, if he was truly the man who had walked beyond the walls.
I walked a long time ago. Now I draw what others walk.
The student unfurled a page of mountain, passes that Hayato had sketched on a freezing morning 2 decades ago.
They study it like scripture. I never meant for it to become legend.
The young visitor asked why he had never gone back out to see it all again.
The world is open now. Anyone can walk it.
The student followed his gaze, and for a long moment, the small room held the quiet weight of everything that had changed.
That's enough. They'll see it for themselves.
In the years that followed, visitors came to the Hall of Horizons, where the original map was preserved under glass. It hung in a quiet alcove, lit by a shaft of natural light that softened the aged ink and fraying edges. School groups and old soldiers stood before it in silence, tracing the lines with their eyes. Beneath the weathered oilcloth, a brass plate bore a single sentence. The words were not Hayato's. They were added by the first cartographer who copied the map. They read, "The world is bigger than they told you." Hayato had never asked for a monument. He had only wanted the truth to walk. Now the truth walked the horizons, carried by thousands, while the map rested in the quiet light. And beyond the walls, a new generation drew the next maps of lands that had no name, fade to black.